Warning: do not use any of the following tips or recommendations unless completely committed to consensual, hopefully, non-reproductive sex without the possibility or likelihood of commitment. This video is to help the common hopeless romantic to attract a sexual partner that doesn't end in a lengthy Reddit post with a list of names or criminal charges. Let's begin. But before we begin, I want to clarify the differences between this lesson and romantic relationships. Everything I will share can be used to attract a partner romantically as much as it is for intimacy. But the massive difference is how these techniques work over time as opposed to in the moment. These are not cheap pickup lines or a one-size-fits-all method to attracting a partner. This is taking a more practiced method to traditional explanations about how to approach someone you're attracted to. If you are interested in pursuing a further relationship outside of the simple act of intimacy with any partner, I would advise you to consider looking inward further rather than taking my advice at face value. Relationships take much more time, commitment, patience, and respect to achieve anything remotely healthy, and without taking that into consideration, you may wind up hurting yourself or others emotionally. Now that we got that shit out of the way, I want to start by breaking down the stereotypical advice that you would have received from someone more experienced than yourself on the subject. I'm going to explain which ones work, why, and how they will be effective to you. Be yourself. Okay, this one's hands down the most common tip I can remember hearing. It's actually incredibly important as well as being right and wrong at the same time, and I want to explain why. Being yourself, although it sounds genuine while also coming off as an advocate for self-mutilation, is meant to give your interest a chance to see you without the facade of someone you've seen on television or someone in your life that you look up to. The reason the facade is pointless is because inevitably your interest is going to engage you with an inquiry or a statement or a critique that you'll have never heard responded to by this character you're playing, and the persona is going to fall apart. Now, being yourself can be useful if you didn't know all the Sailor Moon characters by heart and you showered before you left the house, if you ever get around to leaving the house. But in some cases, you have to be a better version of yourself. Now, I'm sure you've also heard this one before. This doesn't mean a cooler, more laid-back version of you with a colorful shirt and sunglasses. This is a version of you that isn't frightened of social interactions and brushes their teeth 3 times a day instead of just when they start to hurt. This means approaching conversation with a different mindset. For example, instead of saying, "I have an extensive collection of manga," try saying, "Japanese culture has made a significant influence on my lifestyle." Or even, "I prefer to take a healthier life approach," rather than, "I go to sleep with a bottle of Jergens and Silk Touch Kleenex." In fact, I would just avoid talking about that altogether. When engaging in interest, you need to understand having a casual approach. Forcing conversation, offering to buy them a drink, or anything else that might force them to give you their attention will only hurt your first impression. When it comes to approaching someone, you need to have an excuse for why you're interacting with them that doesn't make them think that answering incorrectly could lead to police having to identify them by dental records. Some would recommend finding something to compliment them on. Eyes, a hairstyle, a pair of shoes, their tits or bulge. I'm kidding, don't do that. This can work, but you need to be aware of what to avoid. Complimenting their top or pants, that could just be a cause for alarm, because to them, it may just seem that you've been staring at their chest, back, or genitals. Also, when complimenting or inquiring about something like a handbag, for example, when you would have no interest in it otherwise, might make it harder to show genuine interest if they decide to open up to you about it. So if you do plan to take this approach, make sure that the interest is genuine and it's not just them without pants. Be their friend. Don't be their friend. Unless you can find a genuine connection with them that can outweigh your physical interest in them, just a heads up, you can't, then this would be detrimental to your goal. Remember that you don't need new friends. Your D&D collectible figurines and your otaku body pillow is all you need to keep you warm and comforted. Also, don't assume that every individual you're attracted to will be attracted to you. You might be surprised to find that someone in your league may not find you attractive or interesting, but someone outside of your league would be pleasantly content in your company. Everyone is different, and therefore we all experience life differently. Your big-titted goth GF may be interested in someone more athletic, brooding, rebellious, or dressed like he's still 14. This doesn't mean someone similar to her wouldn't be interested in your weak, soft-spoken, and limp-wristed frame and extensive collection of illegal firearms that you have for no particular reason. Just remember that complaining about it on subreddits, 4chan, and other internet forums helps no one, and practice makes perfect. You'll miss a few shots, and eventually that sting of rejection and 300-page manifesto will fade into obscurity when you find yourself having a lovely conversation with that person your mother warned you about. And with that, I wish you luck on your endeavors, and I'll leave you with a few basic parting tips. Basic hygiene is a must. Avoid political or religious topics, and never mention Aiden Ross. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more how-to instructional films, just let me know in the comments section. And if you have any other recommendations or critiques, or you just wanted to tell me how well this video helped you out, Feel free to also let me know in the comments. Please show some support to my wonderful channel artist that always finds a way to make my thumbnails seem more alluring than the video actually is. Also, I've got a Discord you should consider joining. I'll leave the link in the description. Please like and share the video to help me out in the analytics, and subscribe for loads of content and much more to come. Until next time, be well.